Welcome back, and in this video we're continuing a remake of the ZX Spectrum classic Jetpack.
I'm going to add a bullet in here at this point, and we need to figure out where things are. So what I'm going to do is we've got a Jetman clone there. I'm going to create an empty object. Let's call it spawn point, and move it out. We can see that it's moved across to there. So at this point here, that's roughly 7 pixels out from there. So if we make that 11 pixels, it's half the bullet. So the bullet is basically 8 pixels across by 1 pixel down. It's just an 8 by 1. That's it there. So if we make that 11, so that'll put that there, and then we just nudge it down by negative 0.5. That'll give us the middle of that point there. I do copy, kill that, then we can go to our Jetman. Prefabs. Jetman, and then do create empty spawn point, and then we can paste, and that puts it here. Really handy to do that. If you go into the game, you can then position it where you want it to be, or figure it out, and then you can come back into here and then just paste in there. Super helpful. So now our Jetman, we need to give it a fire control here. So I'm going to create, we have an update here. I'm going to create another update that, or another, have a start on it. So I'm going to create a start method in here that checks to see if you've been firing, and if you have fired, then it's going to wait a certain amount of time. That's going to be the cooldown period, but I'm just going to do it as an start method. So and then inside here I'm going to say get key code. Best ones I'm using was to do shift. Down. Once you're in the frame, press the button down. We just do get button code. Right. Have a get key. That makes sense. And then fired, we need to give it. And then we need to duplicate this bit here because we don't want to start being able to fire if we're not ready. It's gonna stall out there, and then I'm gonna say while running, Oh. So I don't have one. Give it another game. I think I might be thinking of another game. I think I'm thinking of the adventure game that I'm working on, which is in Monogame, which is not the same as this. So, Jetman animation. So I guess we have while true here. If we can have full if fired do something, yield return new wait for seconds. So we're going to wait for half a second, so do fire things. And that'll be this here. We'll print pew if you fire things. So we'll open up the console. We'll open up the console in the game. So we can do things. And then inside the console, when we press that, we go pew, 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 pew. You see that it's not firing all the time. It's going to do a cooldown. Now, what we need to have here is a public bullet spawn point. So for that, we need to go into our Jetman prefabs. We get none there, so we drag that into there. Let's sort it for that. Now, if we want to fire, the bullet itself only stays up for a certain amount of time, but we want to be able to spawn those bullets. So we want to say game object a bullet prefab. That's the bullet prefab. Now we need to create a bullet prefab. That go into our artwork, drag bullet into there, and then drag it into prefabs. Delete that. Now that we have bullet, we can now add our various things in there. So we have to decay it after a certain amount of time. I think it's probably like a quarter of a second. But it also has to have a collision box collider 2D. And we also need to make sure it's tagged as something as well. So our bullet is going to be tagged. Player bullet. Okay. And player bullet is also going to have another layer as well. So it's going to be player bullet layer. Okay, that's perfect. We want that to be invisible layer. Let's call it laser. Actually, let's call it laser. You can't rename these? That's okay. Well, we get laser and bullet, so that's fine. So this one here is laser, and we need to go into our project settings, and then physics, and then scroll down here as well. And then laser can't interact with anything. So it can't interact with the player, it can't interact with invisible to alien, and it can't interact with itself. I think each of the aliens well, so each of the aliens themselves, yeah, they've got a rigid. We need to do the same thing for Frog and rest. Haven't set up yet. But anyway, come back to Bullet. We have our Bullet here. Go to our Jetman. See that we need to give it a Bullet prefab. Back to Bullet again, and we need a script. So we need to kill the bullet after a certain amount of time. So we're going to bullet. Okay. And AI enumerator. So we're going to destroy the bullet after a certain amount of time. And then if we go back to our commotion script for the Jetman, what I'm going to say is we need to get it so that it fires off a beam, and the beam is roughly 16 characters long. So I'm going to say var starting equals position 4 and equals 0 less than 15. Prefab bullet position equals starting, and then starting plus equal new. And we want to move it 8 pixels that way to the right. Although this is actually, we need to make sure it's facing that way. So let's figure that out. Actually, that's going to be position. Yeah, that's right. That's going to be world space. And then this one here, we need to know what you're facing. Know where it's. Command shape flip horizontal. So I want to say float direction. So if we're flipping horizontal, it's -8. Otherwise, it's 8. So let me do that. And I think that's everything. I think that's all we need to do. Yeah, I think that might be it. Might be the only thing to do for the basic thing. We need to get screen wrapping to work, but we'll get that working in a sec. Oh, right. Let's just put that in there so that if we render it, then try and look at it, then I don't know why it's trying to never press. Oh, you still working? Oh, that's why. Oh, right. Because I put that in the wrong place, that's why. So that should be there, and that should be there. Alright, so I don't need to do that other thing that I did inside here. So let's get rid of that, because we don't really want to make it complicated than it has to be. Drink. And now to hit play. Okay. Well, that's... Oh, yeah, of course, because the bullet is behind the scenes. So it's just sticking around as well. Not good. And it's not killing itself. So, right renderer, we need to make this in front of everything. Make this sort on layer 50. I think it's the same as a Jetman. Jetman shape, isn't it? Order in layer 11. Okay. Fire. Gonna appear now, but it's just gonna stick. It's trying it. Bullet. Oh, that's why, because I already did the thing there. Bullet. I need to add the script. Okay. So I think as well as it's not firing fast enough. So it's also interacting with the player, which is good. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Also, when you go that way, it's not doing it right there. It should be world space though. Oh, but it's flipping that. That's why. Oh, right. Okay, it's because it's flipping it internally, but it's not actually flipping. It's not the same as. So I was doing a Hoverbother clone retro remake. I didn't do a video for it, but I did it for Ludum Dare. And I flipped things and rotated things and all that kind of stuff, and basically everything just kind of worked around this central thing. That's not the case here. So what I need to do, this bit here is fine, but the starting point, I need to change that. So starting is there. But if I want it to, if Jetman shape flip horizontal, then what I need to do is starting times minus 1. So if I make the starting shape -1, if I flip it on its flip it along the vertical axis, in other words, I make positive x, negative x, that'll move everything to the other side. I also need to go into here again and make, I think, is Jetman in the default layer? In the player layer, okay. So the laser shouldn't interact with the player layer unless this isn't all in the player layer. Oh, that's okay. So that's got to be player layer. Oh, that's player layer. Why is that not? Laser. Interact with that. And then the player layer. Yeah, player layer shouldn't interact with laser. But it is. Check that out. Okay, well, sort of working, but not quite working. Get it? I can't do the -1 because it's going to be the X and the Y position. So, if I do local position and then starting plus equals jetman shape dot position. Kind of loath to do it this way, but okay, so he's firing exactly there. That's right. Firing sort of there. Yeah, it's definitely there. Oh, I can walk on things. That's not good. Fireball. Where's that? What am I walking on? Oh, he's gonna kill me. All right, let's turn off the alien manager just now. Turn that off, and then the rocket manager. There. That was weird. I'm in the con. Okay. I'm gonna turn everything off. Let's not interact with fault, transparent, nor visible to player, water, UI. Doesn't interact with anything. The only thing it interacts with is things in the alien layer, which is the fireball aliens. I'm gonna make sure that's true. Alien layer. They're in the alien layer. So this shouldn't interact with it. Like the player should not interact. And it does. Bizarre. Like I think it would be fine. Right, I'm gonna have to go and think about this. Right, I've had to think about it. I'm gonna make it a trigger. And then that way, if the aliens touch it, then we can flip it on the alien. Okay. There we go. Okay. That's fine there. Let's make it a little bit faster. So we drop down. We'll come over here. So let's say bullet. Let's have static float cooldown period f float so let's make it that. Thank you. And then in our locomotion, we can bullet cooldown period. So we're going to wait for a certain number of down periods. So let's just cache that. It's probably not going to take a hit, but let's do it anyway. I should make it a little bit faster. A bit floaty because of the way that I've done it. It's not happening at the exact same time as it's not happening at the same time as movement, lagging. That's why it's floaty. Also, you can sort of run ahead of the bullet, and there should be more bullets as well. Another thing. Okay. I think it's enough to kill aliens with. So let's bring back our alien manager again. Add on. And then inside our aliens, we are fireball alien. On collision enter platform. On trigger enter if collision dot layer dot tag equals laser. Destroy game object. And then we want to do we have a we do have a game manager. Game manager instance dot oh, is that it? Oh no, okay, yeah, right. If I do game manager, player killed, kill player, okay. Do I not have a current score? Is that tied to the locomotion? Where's score? The worst thing is, I mean, it's, oh yeah, here we go, score listener, score manager, there we go, okay, score manager. Pick up fuel, kill alien, okay. So if we go to our alien manager, where is it? Fireball alien. And then we do score manager instance dot kill alien. That. Oh, in fact, there we go. We can do this like that. So we kill the alien, and then we get a nice little blast smoke. Let's see if this works. Hey, there we go. Killing aliens. Hey, there we go. Sweet. Okay, so the next thing is we need to figure out how to get the little hop there. We need to get it so that it scrolls. That's the next bit. let's go back to our locomotion. So this is our starting point here. So we need to reset this if we're beyond the direction. So we want to say if starting's a terrible name, but never mind. Starting.x is less than minus 128. Starting.x plus equals 256. Else if starting.x is greater than 128. These are the screen bounds. X minus equal. So if it's off the left hand side of the screen, we want to add 256 to it, and that's going to wrap around to the other side of the screen. So when we walk towards the side of this side of the screen, it should show the fire. So going off there you go. There's the fire coming off the other end. Little something wrong with the wrapping there. There's a little kind of jump. Oh, there's that weird thing. Okay. Why is gravity not pulling me down? Oh, I think it's because if you die in a weird state, that's why. Oh, okay. So if you die... Lock, left lock, drop zone, in the script. Fireball alien. That's just checking to see if you hit a player or a platform. Okay. And then the game manager, that's probably the... We go to game manager, kill player. Ah, okay. So instantiate that, destroy current player. Current player equals null. Current player equals instantiate player. So it does create a new player. So that should be fine then. Because the locomotion and everything should just get reset. Doesn't seem to be. Gravity. I don't know. If I hit the platform, gravity is false. So if I get killed in the air, I not apply gravity. But it should be, because I should be like... Oh. Yeah, see, I'm not... Gravity's not getting applied to me. Apply gravity's false. Yeah, it's like it doesn't... It's okay if we get killed. Oh, there's a bug. Alright, that's a bug for next time. But anyway, we get firing working. So as long as we don't die, we get firing working. That's kind of what I wanted to get done for today. Obviously the list of polish items is going up by the minute, but it does start to feel a lot like that's a good thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it the old thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it the old thumbs down. Leave a comment below as well. All of these things help rise us up in the YouTube algos, and I really appreciate it because it really drives the channel forward a little bit. And as always, if you did enjoy this, you got this far, and you want timely reminders of when I put new videos up, then don't forget to hit the old subscribe button and notification bell, and YouTube will work its algorithms and give unto you these videos, whatever, or not. It's up to you. It's a free country. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.